Hello, my wonderful aviators. RandomEd787 here. Well, the long-awaited Sim Update 2 for Flight Simulator 2024 has finally been released, and this is quite the update. I mean, it's the largest in franchise history. Just go look at the patch notes. It's a literal encyclopedia.
Holy.
And while the reception has been mostly positive, I might be in the minority by saying I'm not only mixed on it, but I still don't think this simulator is worth upgrading to from 2020 still. I've looked through the Flight Simulator forums and YouTube comments, and some people with higher-end machines are reporting issues as well, mainly in terms of performance, and that is really my main issue with the sim right now. Let's start with what Azubo did well, and that's performance at large and dense airports. When the sim first dropped, I was lucky to hit 20 frames per second. Now, even without frame generation on, I can sometimes get into the 50s. However, I have to put an asterisk on performance, because one thing I noticed is the longer I play the sim, the more the performance degrades over time. It doesn't happen during cruise, but once you start getting close to the ground, that's where things start to go south. For example, I was doing a long-haul flight in the PNDG 777-200ER from Frankfurt to Tokyo, and as I was descending, I started to notice some serious frame drops. And once I touched down and parked at the gate, I started noticing some more stuttering. But I did a restart of the simulator, and the frame rate went up dramatically, and the stuttering practically stopped. And keep in mind that I'm mostly using frame generation. Without it, this game is practically unplayable. Unfortunately, it's not just frame rate issues. There are still crash to desktop problems as well. The only time I experienced a crash in flight, and that goes for career mode and free flight, is sometimes when I open the camera controls window, the game crashes. But I only noticed it in two scenarios. One is when you're at Charles de Gaulle Airport, and the second was in career mode with the 737 MAX on the one mission I did. But the most frequent crash to desktop issue that I've seen is when I'm trying to load into dense airports. The second I click fly now, you guessed it, crash to desktop. And what if I told you that doing something as simple as clicking on the aircraft selection menu crashes the game? Would you believe me?
Why are you the way that you are? Honestly, every time I try to do something fun or exciting, you make it not that way. I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
So yeah, optimization is still a major issue with Flight Simulator 2024, and I wouldn't be surprised if it takes another sim update or two to get this into an acceptable state. So how about career mode? Has it been improved? Not really. At least in terms of bugs and frustrating elements. For example, acknowledging transmissions can still break at times, therefore deducting points. Still don't know how this hasn't been fixed. Or how about the fact that ATC told me to descend from 16,000 feet to 15,000, only to tell me to maintain my present altitude at 16,000 feet. Afterwards, I tried to request to lower my altitude, but of course, it didn't work. And then there's more stupid stuff like taxiing onto a runway in a commercial jet where it tells me to enter the runway, only for the game to make me turn the plane around and taxi further back and make a U-turn. Yeah, it's stuff like this why I don't really touch career mode often, and keep in mind, I only spent a few hours playing this after Sim Update 2 was released. So if you ask me, career mode is going to take numerous updates to fix all these bugs, especially with ATC. There is a reason why I don't use it in the simulator. It's just too frustrating to deal with. So at the end of the day, I'll be honest, Sim Update 2 does make a lot of improvements, but I'm sorry, this game still feels like a beta test at the time. I just have the mindset of booting up this game to just expect numerous problems. I just don't trust it to run well. While this sim is heading in the right direction, I'm curious just how far the destination is from us. I mean, just looking at those patch notes just goes to show you how broken this simulator actually is, and how quickly it was pushed out the door. But I still do have some confidence in Asobo that this simulator will get into an acceptable state, but I won't lie, I am starting to get a little bit worried. They built a solid foundation, but the actual construction on top of it still isn't stable. So for anyone out there looking to make the jump, I'm still gonna say hold off for a while. And I know some people will think I'm on here to just crap on the game and complain, but no, that is not and will never be my intention. I desperately want to sing this simulator's praises from the mountaintops, but I can't do that when it's still in a state like this. Asobo has a lot of work to do before I can recommend this simulator. Obviously, I'll continue to cover it extensively and will definitely let you know when it's worthy of purchase. Until then, stick with 2020.